We buy the house, we build on Coyote Pass, you move into that house, we rent this house. That's the plan with Robin's house.
I want a house. I'm ready to be settled in my own house.
Yeah, but we're a year from that, even if we start building right away.
And I don't want this house. I want to be out on the property. That's the whole reason I've been doing everything I've been doing. I want to be out there.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. We have a lot to talk about today, and we're going to get right into it on a brand new clip that was released by TLC to Entertainment Tonight. And it's an argument between Mr. Kody Brown and Miss Janelle Brown about their property and how Kody wants her to make another disastrous financial choice by purchasing a home she can't afford so that she then can build a home that she can't afford because she can't afford both. And then Kody's gonna gaslight a rational Janelle who has logical reasons for why this is a horrible idea. But Kody's going to claim that this is her just arguing. Can you imagine what it's like to live in the world of Kody Brown, filled with confusion, paranoia, and delusions, and then try to have a rational conversation with a man that wants to always keep you unbalanced and in a way of like not knowing up from down? I would imagine this is how he keeps his wives so obedient. That's just my 2 cents. Obviously, Christine has left town, and so now they have to deal with this home that's left by Christine, which had been under contract, but apparently has been left without a buyer. And because of that, Kody has this harebrained idea that Janelle is going to buy the house that Christine owns, which actually isn't too far away from Coyote Pass. But Janelle has other ideas because she doesn't believe and she knows that she can't qualify for a home and to build. She wants to focus her resources on a construction loan, but Kody doesn't want to do that because he's impatient and he somehow thinks that he'll be able to rent these homes out and make money. Kody Brown thinks he's going to be the Jim Bob Duggar of Flagstaff and buy properties and rent. Okay, no, Jim Bob buys really dilapidated, rundown stuff. There's also a Duggar video coming up soon, so hang on tight for that. So we'll dive into this latest clip of Kody Brown making Janelle the scapegoat. And before we do, listen, we're getting super close to our goal of 300,000 subscribers. In fact, we're 11,000 away, and I cannot wait to get there. I was actually just noticing that one of my videos had 340,000 views, and I thought, geez, if half the people actually watching subscribed that aren't subscribed, I would have reached my goal by now. So if you're one of those people that's tuning in regularly that hasn't clicked the subscribe button, please consider doing so. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, ring the bell by clicking the bell and you'll get notifications, and always leave some comments if you have something to say. This clip is kind of a doozy, and I don't believe it's actually the meat of the argument because they barely argue, but it's an example of Kody's extreme gaslighting. And if you know anything about gaslighting, and projection with narcissists, is they will make you believe that your reality is not your reality and confuse you by shifting the goalposts and making you think things that aren't true. And you'll be confused by what's real, what's fake, and and arguing with them is damn near impossible because once you decide that you have the argument for their point that's rational, they'll change the argument altogether. And that's what happens here. Kody Brown, he's also decided that the new scapegoat is Janelle. So let's dive into this new clip.
We buy the house, we build on Coyote Pass, you move into that house, we rent this house. That's the plan with Robin's house.
I want a house. I'm ready to be settled in my own house.
Yeah, but we're a year from that, even if we start building right away.
Yeah, but Kody, I don't think I can do both.
One of the difficult things that nobody prepares you for when you actually build a house is this like transitional period where you might have to actually live in a rental or live in a home other than your place while you're building because you need to have one home sold to qualify for the construction loan. I know this personally because we literally did this. We ended up having to sell our house, and then we had to use the proceeds of the house for the construction loan to qualify, right? And then we moved into an apartment. Was it ideal? No. Was it necessary? Yes. Was it awesome living in a 2-bedroom apartment with our kid, with our son and our animals? And no. But we made it work because the long-term goal was to build the house that we're in today. House that we never planned to leave because we're too lazy to ever look for another home. Janelle here is saying, I don't want another home because I want to build. Logical. Cody's like, but we're gonna do what we're doing with Robin's house. Illogical. I don't think they'll ever be able to do what they want to do because they have a huge mortgage over on Robin's house. Huge, by the way. And how are they going to qualify for then $1 million construction loan for them to build another house in Flagstaff? They won't. I don't think Cody has any intention of building on Coyote Pass because he still hasn't done a thing. But that's just my 2 cents. Let's continue.
You know what I mean?
What
And
did
he
say?
said it would be 2 years of renting this to somebody else.
Oh, it's not a
Before-
year.
And he said you would have to rent it for 2 years before somebody would not count that mortgage towards your debt to income when you're trying to finance something else. And I don't want this house. I want to be out on the property. That's the whole reason I've been doing everything I've been doing. I want to be out there.
So Janelle went to their friend Kelly, who's a real estate agent that's helped them with their builds and their buying properties or whatever they do in the area, to get their opinion professionally about the idea of buying this home. So she basically took Cody's harebrained idea and tested this out by going to someone and saying, is this plausible? And they say to her, well, if you want to be able to afford this house and you don't want this mortgage payment to actually go against you for your debt to income, meaning it's a qualified amount that she has to spend every single month per the amount that she makes. And you have to only have, like, I don't even know, whatever percentage it is, 30% or 40%. And if you don't want this to be a part of it, you have to have rental income for 2 years. Otherwise, it's considered your home. And so she won't have a renter. And then Cody's like, oh, it's not a year. Well, but he wants her to own there and live there. He has no intention of renting immediately. He wants them to live there right now. Cody's rationalization here is actually irrational. He has no idea what he's doing. And he's literally not even thinking. He's not a very smart person when it comes to real estate. He's not a smart person when it comes to making financial choices. In fact, he doesn't think things through. He just gets ideas and decides this is what we're going to do, which is why they're in the they have the financial problems that they do. And when Janelle tries to test his theories, she proves him wrong. But of course, Cody will use that as a way to say that she's arguing.
I still think you're not being open-minded.
Okay, Cody, I talked to Kelly.
I know. He says 2 years. So what?
I'm not going
It
to
takes a whole year to build.
No, I'm not going to. Well, no, Cody, the problem is I wouldn't be able to build. I can't even get a construction loan if I buy this house.
Well, if Janelle wouldn't have bought the RV, she could have been able to afford the mortgage on Christine's house.
Able to pay off the land this year, then why wouldn't we be able to actually just fund your construction next year?
No.
A few episodes ago, Cody said that they didn't have the money to pay off Coyote Pass, and now he's like propositioning that they pay off Coyote Pass. Literally. And then let's pay off Coyote Pass this year, then we'll fund your construction process next year. You're gonna come up with like millions of dollars to buy this to build the house? Really? And did you like how he said that, like, he said so what to Kelly's rational argument? Because they're not being creative enough. They're not being open-minded to his harebrained ideas. He has no explanation or argument of how they're going to fund these properties, how they're going to pay for the construction. All he wants to do is say that Janelle was given bad advice and wrong advice. And then he changes the like complete argument and says, oh, but if she would have just not bought the RV, she could afford the mortgage. That's not true. That RV was like probably under $100,000. The mortgage or the loan she has out on that, I guarantee you, is nowhere near the loan that would be on Christine's house, which sold for $700,000. A loan for $700,000, a loan for $100,000. You do the math. 7 times the payment. Yeah. So if it's $1,000, it would be $7,000. I mean, I'm just being very basic. It wouldn't be that much for the house. But anyways, he's, again, changing the arguments. Oh, now it's her fault for doing this. no, she would still not be able to qualify.
It's like, no, Cody, it's like everybody's lost sight of the reason that we moved here was to build out there.
We're simply
I
just buying
no,
an asset.
No, this really,
or
he
something
told
that
me
becomes
it would be 2 years before I could apply, 2 years of rent. So where am I gonna live for those 2 years that we're renting this?
So she's like trying to circle back to the reason why they moved in Flagstaff to begin with, to buy and build on that property, right? To buy out the loan, build their houses. That was why he took them there, for that property. That was the goal. Coyote Pass, that was the goal. They have gotten so far from Coyote Pass because it's super expensive to build there. I told you about everything we've talked about with the neighbor and why this is very hard for them financially to swing this. And then on top of that, he's like, but we would be purchasing an asset. A home is not an asset when you have a liability against it. An asset is something that you own without liability. You might have equity in a home, meaning that there's the difference between what the home would sell for versus what you owe, but it's only an actual asset once you own it free and clear. They would never be able to afford the $700,000 to pay for that. They would not have an asset. They would have another liability, but he doesn't think things through. And he doesn't care. And then she's like, well, what are we going to do? Where would we live? If I have to rent this out for 2 years, where do I live during that time? Then what? Exactly. It puts you further behind the 8 ball again. And then Cody's going to go on about how he's just trying to be creative here. But what he's doing is just gaslighting her. She has every logical reason to do what she wants to do with the plan that she wants to do. And he is the one that wants to argue because it's not what he wants to do. So he's going to make her feel like her plan is stupid, it's not logical, it's not practical, and he's going to gaslight her all the way through it. And they're fighting, and she's like trying to stand up to him, and he's just like mocking her.
I'm just being creative and a little bit argumentative here with Janelle, but the whole point is I want to get her into a home, and Christine's house is here, available and easy.
I can be built in a year.
I see that we just lack creativity here. I understand what
Cody,
Kelly's saying.
I want to go forward with this build. The
That
money
build.
I'd have to put as a down payment on this would basically almost pay off the land.
No, we can do both.
I don't think so.
Cody just flat out told on himself. He literally said the reason why he's doing this and he's arguing with her is to wear her down so that he gets what he wants. He doesn't want to deal with the hard thing of dealing with Coyote Pass. That's too hard for him to think about. It's easier. It's an easier, less time-consuming option because he doesn't have to deal with the roads and the infrastructure and the wells and the cisterns and the water and the electricity and the everything that he has to do on that property plus the building expenses, right? But if he just buys the house, then it's over. He has a place to live for her. So what is he doing? He's admitting I'm manipulating her to get what I want so that she'll do what I want by gaslighting her, making her feel like she's crazy, making her feel like she doesn't know what she's talking about, minimizing what she's doing. And she's so upset. You can see her fingers shaking. And she's so mad because she knows what he's doing is not true. She knows that she can't achieve her goal of building by buying this house. But he doesn't like that. She's fighting back. So he's saying, I'm being argumentative to get what I want. So he's admitting to manipulating her. He's admitting to beating her down through an argument to get what he wants. I hope that the sister wives can look back and actually go to a therapist that understands narcissism and domestic violence and abusers and help these women see what he's doing and how he is hurting them and making them feel unstable by using these tactics to get what he wants. Cody doesn't care about anyone but himself. Cody cares about the easiest path of resistance. He's never going to build on Coyote Pass, and he's going to make Janelle feel like she's the stupid one for not doing what he wanted, when his plan will never get them there to begin with. But instead of telling her we're never going to build on Coyote Pass, he's going to let the pipe dream stay out there because he can't tell her that it's not going to happen. He doesn't want to let her down. So he's going to make her think it can happen when it won't happen and create all these obstacles and roadblocks so that it never happens. It's disgusting. And if Janelle hasn't left by now, get out, Janelle. You deserve better. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.